Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to 4 Hours of Suzuka. This is the 4th round of the SEC Endurance Series, and qualifying is just underway. Perfect timing there. Beetle struggling to get out the pits. He might just have to wait his turn, and those who've pressed their accelerator slightly before, but they do all seem to be making their way out. Bite the Roses gets out first for the Race Asylum dudes. We make our way round our outlap. We are just glad to be away now, to be honest. So obviously this will all impact on the second stint as well. They'll all have to wait that bit longer, their nerves building even more. Who will be the first onto their flying lap? It will be Race Asylum's Bite the Roses by the look of it. So let's have a look at that. We haven't had a look at that car yet. So there he is. RA Nick decides to take the outside line. I'm quite happy to lead into his first flying lap, unless he is ducking into the pits for tyres. Who knows? Like Splurge was first out. I didn't see that, or is he just... Yes, he is. So Splurge in the AMG for the Turn 1 boys will be the first to finish his first flying lap. We do have 11 join the stream now, the second stream that is. Good afternoon, guys. Hope you're all well. Good afternoon, the Ghost. Good afternoon, Pedro. And of course, Mr. T. How are you, mate? He'll be keeping a close eye on Bite the Roses, as Mr. T will be running the second stint for the Race Asylum. But we will stay with the leader now and see what the lead time will be. What will be the time to beat? As we just make our way through Spoon and down the back stretch. Ready for one of my favourite corners, 130R. And then through the Casio Triangle. What a great name for a corner, the Casio Triangle. I like that. And we open with a 157.1. Good time there from Splurge, but what can Nick do? And he does a 56 dead. And Bite the Roses, 58.3. What a time there though from Nick for an opener. And Randy Moore did go up to 4th with a 157.2, but quickly dropped to 6th now as Yupe goes into 4th with a 157 dead. Some very quick times out the box here. Altium Kings into 3rd with a 156.6. And Azumic in second, and Porsche the 156.4. The Porsche will be a good car around here because of its traction out of the corner. And obviously there is a lot of corners back to back here, and it's a pretty even car on tyre wear as well. We have passed in there in 7th. We haven't looked at this. Nice to see a Z4 on the grid. Interesting choice of car. It is a bit of a Marmite car. Love it or hate it. Just see Silent Wolf join the road now for the MFT boys. They're a bit late now. Splurge improves the 157.0. As we see Nick improve the 155.7. I did think we may see some 55s today. I didn't think we'd see them this quickly. Randy Moore improves 156.8. Let's have a quick look at the back of the grid at the moment. Some of the guys that haven't really set a proper lap yet, as we see GTO improve. Creasy down in 10th still at the moment, but not set a proper lap yet. Mashed Potato down with a 159.5 at the minute. And we have Bendit with a 159.8. Bad Omen at the back at the moment with a 2:01.9. Back to the front, Nick has improved with the 155.7, fastest lap of the morning so far. Zuma did improve as well with a 156.3, keeping him in 2nd, but it's half a second between himself and RA Nick at the moment. King's in 3rd, only 92 thousandths behind Zumik in 2nd, but 3/10, nearly 4 in front of GTSV Randy Moore at the moment. The first in the 57s with a 57 dead in 5th, keeping him at 700ths of a second in front of Splurge, who in turn is 93 thousandths in front of Pastin. Or Pastina, yeah, Pastina. Let me know if that's okay on the chat. Lucas in 8th, and Bite the Roses in 9th. Did a 57.2 last time. It's very, very close. 5th down to 9th is only 2/10 just over. And we start to see a little bit of a gap with the second between the AMG of Bite the Roses and the McLaren of GTO. But again, it starts to tighten up then with only a 10th between himself and Creasy, who has set a lap now. 2/10 in front of Bendit. Then nearly a second back to Mash in 13th, and another further 2 seconds back to Bad Omen in 14th. There we see the RTI boys facing the wrong way there on the entry to Casio Triangle. So run a bit wide at 130R and had a bad entry on the track. Best thing to do is stay as far right as you can through there and just drift on past all the grass, all the curbs, and it's a little bit smoother. We've got a chance of saving it. Much better lap there from Mashed Potato. Oh, sorry, Bad Omen. It does improve with a 159.1, but then has a big moment. Mashed Potato warming up his tyres, ready for his next run. Just over 5 minutes to go for these guys now. We'll be seeing fresh tyres going on. One more try at this, I would think. I haven't looked at the tyre wear. A little bit of lag from Nick there, nothing too bad though. Hopefully it won't affect you in the race when they're all bunched up. If it does, it should only be for a lap or so. Fortunately, Polyfolly have fixed the streams now, so when you do go to a race, you can actually change view, and you don't just have to look at a trailer or something for a lap until the cars pit. So thank you, Polyphony, for that. Now just bring back replays and keyboard controls. Zimmick's still in second. Nothing really changing now for the last few laps. As the tyres start to wear and they've had the best out of them. The times will be pretty close though, because the fuel will compensate for that. It looks like everybody's staying out. That's because it's the last lap. I didn't realise it. And he does improve. A 156.1 there from Zimmick. Everyone else managing to get a flying lap in by the look of it. Here we have Randy. He will be coming to the end of his lap. And he's not going to improve. He's well off his own time. I've just had a bit of a moment there, or decided. Well, I think it's his out lap, to be honest. Who else have we got? Splurge finishes with the 156.8. Good time there from Splurge, putting him up to 5th in front of Upe. White the Roses had to settle with that 157.1, keeping him in 7th. And only 2100s in front of Pastina. Luke's in the pits after that spin. Creasy in 10th. GTO 11th. Bendit under the bridge there in 12th. Bad Omen 13th. And Mashed Potato jumps up to 10th. Is that everybody finished apart from Nick? I don't think it's going to improve, but it's going to be pretty close. It's going to be a good time again. Oh, it's second off, isn't it, nearly? Oh, no, 55.8. So, still a good time. Only a 10th off his best. But his best was still over 3/10 good enough for pole position. So it's the Scotch Egg boys that take pole position, followed by Sota Sport. Aston Muffin third, GTSV in 4th. Turn 1 5th. Speed Hunters 6th. Race Asylum 7th. I'm not sure what team Pastina is. Well, it's not Raptor Racing because they are down. They're in the vet, aren't they? I will work that as that goes on. These guys just having a minute to get themselves together and get this race underway. So we'll have a formation lap any second now. And the weather's still looking a little cloudy. I'm not sure if that will change. As it looks like we're having to... I'm not sure what we're doing here. What? Oh, I think we may be adding somebody at the back who did join the room. So again, sorry about this folks, but we will be underway any second, just sorting the grid out. Suzuka is a track of much history, fantastic track that's seen all forms of racing over the years, and I think it's one of the best tracks anywhere in the world. It does have a little bit of everything. I say it is a technical track, it is a hard on tyres track. It's hard to pass around here as well. There's a couple of places, but they are places that if you go to attack, you can leave yourself very vulnerable. But there's also a lot of hard braking places, so there's always the chance on the hairpins, and here and there a couple of little places. And obviously the high speed exits like spoon down the back stretch there and through 130R. It's just an awesome piece of racecraft there. And the snake, you get that right, it feels amazing. And there we do have Silent Wolf added to the grid now, so we do have the Aston there as well, so it will be nice to hear the Aston going around here. And I believe he's another one of the aliens. I have seen him up there before. I'm sure I have streamed one of Silent Wolf's races. I think we are nearly ready to go. Yes, Mr. T, you can cook me something. I haven't had any proper breakfast yet, so if you want to stick something on for me as well, that would be great. And we are away. 4 hours of Suzuka, here we go. Obviously there will be a formation lap, then we will be away. Nice to be able to do this with views and everything straight away. Well, this just gives us a chance to have a look at everybody in race formation, race colours all together, including the one guy we missed, so we will flick straight to the back of the grid and have a look at the Aston of Speed Hunter. Speed Hunter. What am I on about? Silent Wolf. The MFT team is his partner's Speed Hunter, which does get confusing with the Speed Hunters team as well. Adam in the AMG in 14th, 13th in the McLaren is GTO. Bennett in the Corvette there. Certainly looking a little laggy. Oh my word, what's going on here? This is interesting. Let's hope that irons itself out. Doesn't seem to be all over the grid, just where there's a little group. But yes, the servers do seeming to be a little laggy at the moment. You can't blame any individual's connection. It can make no difference whatsoever on your connection speed at times. Come through Spoon. I'm assuming everyone will line up as we go down the back stretch and try and go through Casio Triangle together and through the ever creatively named last curve. Yes, the laggy's back. Let's hopefully it will iron itself out. It does seem to have calmed down a lot. It did just seem to be a spike. Hopefully it won't affect too many of these guys during the race. They all line up through last curve and onto the start finish, and we are go. No, we're not. We are go, and now we are go. Good start there from Randy Moore. He tries to go around the outside of Azumi. Don't think he's going to get it done there though. And he has got Splurge looking on the inside. Splurge not getting through though. We have Bite the Roses. Oh, somebody's off. It's Yuppie. Yuppie off in the background there. I'm not sure if there was contact. It was very hard to see with everybody bunched that closely together. Meanwhile, King's up to second from the start, but getting past Sumik. Randy Moore to fourth, Splurge right behind Randy in fifth. And Bite the Roses making a good start up to sixth. Lucas RTR in seventh. Pastina in eighth in the Z4. Little bit of a gap between himself and the Supra, but he has got mashed potato and greasy all over the back of him. Then we have the Nuke Shot Boys in the McLaren in 11th, with Silent Wolf already making his way through the field up to 12th. Bad Omen in 13th, Yuppie in 14th, and Bendy in 15th as well. So we've had a problem there with the vet, and we know Yuppie went into the barrier. Whether it's connected, not sure if there's damage. Meanwhile, Nick pulling away with a 1.5 second lead nearly already as we come up to 1:30 after the first flying lap. Zumik looking to challenge Kings for second place there, but thinking better of it. Oh, a little bit of lag there in fourth and fifth for Randy and Splurge. Splurge hanging on to the back of Randy Moore at the moment, just 4 tenths between them. By the Roses looks like he's had a little bit of an incident at some point, because he has dropped 1.5 seconds back now from Splurge. Oh, and he's splurged wide there. Splurge wide into first turn. Oh, and we also have Bad Omen wide as well. It's been working out well for Silent Wolf. He's been able to make his way through a few places already. And he's on the back of Bad Omen now. And I think GTO must have had a moment as well, because he's dropped right back with Bendit and Yuppie after his incident. 2.5 seconds now between Nick and Kings in second. Zumik still right on the back of Kings. Randy Moore, I think, taking a little bit of a breather. I'm wondering if that lag has anything to do with the problem between himself and Splurge. By the Roses closing that gap back up a bit now, down to 1.1 seconds. And he has got Lucas all over the back of him, and Pastina and Mash. Splurge dropped back to 9th after his little moment there. He'll be able to recompose himself and make his way back through the field, because he's definitely got the pace. Now, if Creasy can do anything, he wants to try and hang on to the back of Splurge and see if he can be dragged through the field with him. If he can get into a similar rhythm, you never know. Silent Wolf still not caught up with Bad Omen, but Bad Omen won a little bit wide there. That should give Wolfie a little bit of a sniff. Oh, as we see some weird lag. And, yeah, this is bizarre. That does allow Wolfie to make the move. I'm not entirely sure how, or why, or what, or when. But yes, he did. He's up to 11th now and 5 seconds behind Creasy. But we do have a big pack of cars there. Randy Moore's dropped back to 6th. So what's happened there? He's Bite the Roses up to 4th. Mr. T will be happy. Kings and Zumik all over the back of each other still. Let's say that big battle here now is Lucas up to 5th. Behind Bite the Roses, Randy in 6th. Astina in 7th. And Mash in 8th. Bit of a busy train we have here. From 4th back, isn't it? From 4th to 8th. So we have 5 cars right with each other, and every one of them a different manufacturer as well. That makes life interesting. That's the kind of stuff we like to see. Let's just have a look how far Splurge is off the back of this group. 1.7 seconds now. We'll keep our eye on that gap to see if he can chip into Mashed Potato. See what I did there. Mash a little bit wide there, but keeping it all together nicely. Let's have a look at the Z4, shall we? There we go, nearly causing the curse instantly. And there we go with the lag curse. That lag really extreme today. It seems pretty smooth most of the time, then we get these spikes. I have a suggestion for the next round though, but we'll see how that works. Lucas in 5th, not letting Bite the Roses go. Roses pushing hard. Let's see if he's any better than his teammate on tyres. Well, we'll bring up that info a little bit later. Not really worth it this early in the race. There will be no strategy coming into play just yet. It'll be make a break for it, try and get a little bit of breathing room. Or at the moment, perhaps try and find a little bit of space away from the lag. This is one of the closest battles still on track, but Kings seems to be able to put a little bit of time into Zumik now. But the Porsche getting a slightly better exit down the back stretch. And he's on a personal best, so these cars getting lighter as the fuel slowly starts to burn off. I can't imagine the fuel being too high as it's an endurance race. Lucas has made a move on Rosie's. Rosie's back to 5th now. So Lucas in the Supra, looking pretty comfortable around here. I can hear a little bit of screeching going on behind. Is that lag related? We do have a yellow flag, so somebody's off somewhere. Oh, and it's 2nd place. Zumik down to 8th. Getting caught out in first corner there. Oh, sorry, first curve, isn't it? No, first corner. I was right first time. But that's putting back with the other victim, Splurge, who had a moment in, I think it was the same bend earlier on, wasn't it? So the two victims of first corner together there in 8th and 9th. Oh, and we have Randy Moore off. Putting back down to 11th now, Randy, for the GTSV boys. This not like Randy. Again, we don't know if the lag has anything to do with this. But when they're on their own, there doesn't seem to be any lag. So, very strange server today. And this is not the first one we've tried, as if you've been on any of the other streams, you're fully aware of. But again, after an update, games can be a little bit laggier than normal. Silent Wolf had a big moment in the foreground there, but keeps it all together. So Splurge up to 8th now, with Randy dropping back a few places. But Zumik pulling away from Splurge quite easily. I'm not sure if Splurge is carrying any damage. He did that 156 in qualifying, so we know Splurge has got good pace. But maybe he's on mediums and Zumik on softs. I don't know, we'll have a look at that info shortly, as we see Rosie's off as well. First corner is causing some problems for some people today. So Rosie's having a battle there with Creasy. And that puts him behind Splurge, and Zumik gain another place from look of the draw. Zumik makes a move on Pastina. So to Sport Boys, great start. Lost a bit of time, but making it back up pretty quickly. See how quickly you can catch up with Mashed Potato. Mash, who didn't have the best of qualifying, he's made his way up to 4th, so great drive from him so far. Just going with the consistency is key. Logic, keep it on track. Bang in the lap times. And to be honest, that is the secret to endurance racing. Lucas up to 3rd now, with a few incidents in front. We'll like keep it coming. King's in 2nd. The glare of that chrome shining nicely in this afternoon's sun. But Nick, nearly 6 seconds up the road now. Absolutely smashing it. 57.7, 57.5, 57.5. It's consistent and quicker than everybody else also. So yes, you can't do any more than that, Nick. Superb drive so far, buddy. 8 laps in now. Well, 7 laps when you take out the formation lap. And these guys will only drive to the end of lap 61. And then pit and hand over to their teammate in lobby 2. If you're not familiar with the streams here as well, when we only have one streamer, we do wait until a few people have entered lobby 2, then this stream will close, second stream will open, and we will join lobby 2. That gap over 6 seconds now, just eking it away every lap. You'll see if you can get an extra pit stop worth of time in there, just so that he's got that in his pocket in case anything does happen. Because as we know, 4 hours is a very long time, and we are already 16 minutes in. King's again extremely consistent, but nearly a second a lap slower than Nick. But it's working absolutely perfect for him at the moment. With 3.2 seconds in front of Lucas in the Supra. He's got even more breathing room now. He's pulling away from Mash. But that gap should be coming down to King's in front, because Lucas's last laps have been very, very low 58s. He's nearly breaking into the 57s every lap. But there in the background because he's zooming right on the back of Mash now. I don't think Mash will be able to hang on to that 4th place for long, because he's been hunted down, and we could see Pastina and Splurge in the background as well, and Roses. Good afternoon, David. I will have a look for you, Rolly. We will get the tyres up now and have a little look at strategy, see if we can see what is going on. And have a flick through the grid. As we see, Mashy's on the softs, and they're looking half gone already. Just over. So that's after 7 laps of racing on his 8th. So we can be looking to see about 12 laps from these, maybe 13 at most. I'll have a look at Rhythm. As they did want to know if he was on mediums, and indeed he is, so he is going for the long stint for the Sota boys. And he is right on the back of Mash still, even on their mediums, still managing to claw his way through the field. There's some good pace here from Rhythm. Pastina finding his rhythm. Look, he's not letting them get it away. Very wide there, though, through Spoon. Splurge recovering well with Roses in the background, the turn 1 victims. We'll keep our eye on this one. It does seem the closest battle on track at the moment between 5th and 4th. Mash doing a good job of creeping Rhythm behind him at the moment. Getting a little bit of a toe down there, getting the gap down to just under 4/10, but it creeps back up once the softs come into play on the exit, I would imagine. There we go. That will start coming down and down as them softs wear more and more each lap. Rhythm might just as well to stay here and make the move as it becomes harder for Mash to make the apex. Let's have a quick look at the gap in front. The gap between Lucas and Kings was 3 seconds. It's gone up a little bit. So Lucas slower that time round, and his softs looking worn. Let's have a look what Kings is on. He's on the mediums as well. Going for the long stint, doing them low 58s on the medium. Good time from Kings. He's looking good. Nick on the mediums. Well, we kind of nukes did a 55 in qualifying, but yeah, then you just see it and he's still, yeah, his mediums are slightly more worn than everyone else's mediums, but that's what a second a lap does. Towards the back of the grid. Bending almost a minute and a half behind the leaders, over. In the vet. He has just jumped onto the mediums. And GTO, Nuke Shop, he down the order in 14th at the moment on the mediums again. But running 201s, 202s at the moment. His fastest lap of a 2:07. Bad Omen, another turn 1 victim. He's on the mediums as well. Done a 1:59.9 on lap 8, so finding a little bit of pace now. Let's hope he can get into a rhythm, and then you pay the first lap. So a big moment there. I think he got damage as well. Put him right down the order, because as we see a 58 dead, 57.6 laps. So, and his tyres looking good for mediums considering. Silent Wolf ground to a halt, making his way through the order early. Looks like he had a bit of a moment. Lap 8 with a 2-minute lap there, and lap 10 as well at 2:05. And them softs looking worn, so they're not pit stops. Not sure why we're getting no lap time for lap 11. I'm sure only a GT7 genius could explain that. Randy Moore starting to make his way back up the order a little bit. Looks like he did pit on lap 10 maybe, or lap 6, sorry. Or was that the lap of the moment? I think that was the lap of the moment, wasn't it? Yes, cost him a lot of time now in the 59s on the mediums. Let's see if he can make an impression into Creasy, who is on the mediums as well. But that right front looking pretty worn. Creasy must be pushing pretty hard. The 59.6, lap 4. And we have Bite the Roses. Oh, we've got it all going on now between Pistina, Splurge and Roses. Oh, Roses trying to get hard on the power there to try and make the move. These guys taking up all the track between them. Are we going to see 3 of us through 130R? That would be silly, but it would be fun. No, they all find single file. The wise thing to do. Flowers goes a little bit up. Roses goes a little bit wide. Keeps enough of the car on the track to be able to save it without having to run long. And we have Lucas in the pits in the Supra. In the background we can see Randy Moore, who was he closing up on. He's right on the back of Creasy already. That was 1.7 seconds a minute ago. And he gets the tighter line here, Randy. Can he get the exit as well and go around the outside? He doesn't need to go around the outside, gets it done early. And we saw Lucas in the background after his stop already. What has Lucas come out on? Has he come out on softs again? Yes, he has. So we will probably eat into these guys pretty quickly. So I'm sure Creasy and Randy are doing 59s. And I'm pretty sure Lucas was doing 58s. Very low 58s, if I remember 58 ones. Oh, Rosie's on the back. Oh, what's happened there? Nothing. It wasn't Rosie's, it was King's in the front. Rosie's dropped back a little bit. There's nearly a second between himself and Pistina now, and Splurge 7/10 in front. But Mashed Potato got a 7.5 second lead between himself and Splurge, but his tyres looking non-existent. Arzum back up to third now, made his way through the field. Just Kings to catch to put himself back where he was. Well, I think he was in third anyway, wasn't he? But he was right with Kings. And that gap coming down pretty quick because Kings just had a moment. And that was 11 seconds and went to 7 pretty quick. Yeah, 2:02 that time round from Kings. Mashed Potato in the pits. Not surprising, but he did take them softs a long way and extracted pretty much everything he could from them. This will put Randy Moore back up to 7th with the personal best lap that time round with a 1:59.2. Put up 1.5 seconds between himself and Creasy in that half a lap. I know we can see Rosie's right on the back of Pastina again. Spurge got himself about a second now, I think. Let's go and have an on board. We haven't done one of these for a bit because we couldn't last time out. A little bit of lag from Pastina, but not too bad. Certainly doesn't look dangerous for Roses. Oh, and it all a bit loose on the power there, just so we could get away a little bit earlier. And obviously that little bit less grip from the mediums. I think everybody that hasn't stopped now is on the mediums. Loose on the exit there of Spoon. There we can see, looks like they took a little bit more time out of Splurge that lap. What is the gap? Oh, it's nice to have a look in the Z4. It's not something I've done since GT Sport, I don't think. Have a look at the mirror, we can see Rose is right behind. Oh, what a big moment for Pastina there. Roses cannot take advantage, he's still there behind. But he's going to have a look into first corner. Trying to go round the outside. Oh, in a moment. Pastina not giving up that place easily. Might have been better from externally to have a good view there, but he did look like he was in front, so racing instant I would say. But it has put Rosie's 2.5 seconds back from him now with Randy Moore closing the gap fast. And as predicted, Lucas with the fresh softs on coming through the field pretty quickly. 58.3 last time round from Lucas, and what did we have from Randy? 59.4, so over a second slower. Rose is getting a wheel on the grass there, but not affecting him really. Does seem Roses is quite happy to have the car loose on exit. Doesn't mind the car moving around underneath him. Not seen many incidents at Spoon yet. They all seem to have been at first corner, the main ones. Whereas I find Spoon can be just as bad at times, and 130R. Well, we can see these guys starting to group up again now. It's been an interesting battle this has from 4th down. Just a second now between Splurge and Pastina. And Rosie's already got that gap down to 1.3 seconds from over 2 between himself and Pastina. Lucas past Randy Moore, making the most of them softs. The softs and the Supra will be a good combination round here. Best thing Randy Moore can do at the moment is stay in the draft with them mediums and try and prolong this stop as much as possible. Mashed Potato, after his stop, comes out in 9th and he's done a 1:57.7 last time round. Mash is on him. And he's closing that gap to Randy. I'm not surprised with 1:57's coming out. Creasy down to 10th now. Bad Omen 11th. Silent Wolf dropped back to 12th. So again, a series of bad laps there. 10, 11, 12. Look at them. 205, 213, 209. I'm presuming there was a pit stop in there, but the prior lap as well had cost him. Paying 13th, Matt's still making his way through the order. Looks like he pitted lap 13. So we'll know better once the medium guys start pitting towards the front. And we'll have a look at Nick very shortly. I will bring the tyre info back up. So we can see the last of the guys still haven't stopped yet. Yeah, we know Bendit did stop, and he has been lapped by Nick. Who's chilled off into the 58 since lap 10 and can serve his tyres a little bit. They've gone down a hell of a lot slower since he's backed it off. He plans on seeing these out for another couple of laps, use a bit more fuel. Might even go to about lap 19. King's doing a cracking job in second there. His tyres still looking fantastic. Just that one moment on lap 12. Azam in third now, still running. Look at that. Lap 15 and 14. 158.996, 158.966. That's pretty damn consistent. This tyre's looking slightly more warm because of that battle through the field, I think, again. After that spin. And Splurge, yeah, his tyre's looking absolutely exhausted, but Lucas all over the back of him now. Hold on a minute. Where's Pastina gone? Did he pit? Or has he had a moment? I don't think this will take long to pass Splurge, but I think Splurge may be in this lap anyway. No, he hasn't. Yes, he is. So we do have Splurge in, one of the first of the medium runners. But I am interested to see what's happened to Pastina. Quite the Rose's tyres considerably better than his teammates would be at this point in the race. That puts him back up to 5th now with the stops. But he will be stopping in a couple of laps. I would think probably Randy will be about the same. But Mash has already stopped, and on the softs. Randy Moore is holding him up at the minute. Can we see a nice clean move here? He has got the extra grip, so we should be able to see something on corner exit. Or entry, as we see there. Nice move there done by Mash. Nothing Randy could do because of the extra grip that Mash has with them fresh softs. Oh, but Mash has a big moment. Oh no, commentators curse strong there. Just a little wiggle. And then couldn't get it stopped in Stagnap. Randy lucky he could avoid that. Kept him out of trouble at least. May have cost him a little bit of time, but that cost Mash a good few seconds there. And he does have the fastest lap of the race at the moment, the 1:57.4, Mr. Potato. So good job there, Mash. And he's only dropped to 7th, so he's just lost time more than anything. He'll still be annoyed with himself, but he's still got 13 seconds between himself and Splurge. So So just get his head back down and try and make some of that time back up. Spurge has a 3-second penalty, will probably be from pit exit or entry. The most annoying of all penalties. This will allow Creasy to really close that gap. It's not only do you have to wait for 3 seconds, the amount of speed you lose on this whole run up, and as 130R is pretty much flat out. And Creasy on the softs now, so it'll be interesting to see how quick he can go in the Beetle. But Yuppie making his way back through the order in front of Bad Omen now, and only 4 seconds behind Creasy as we see Bad Omen in the pits. Silent Wolf up to 11th. Hanging on to the back of Yuppie. That's a very good place to be, I think. As everyone makes it through first corner nicely. And there is Pastina, back all the way back in 12th. But yes, he did stop. And then looks like he had a penalty as well when he came out. So yes, a couple of bad laps there from Pastina. The 2:07 on his last lap. And he has put plenty of fuel in and back on the medium, so going for another long haul. And right up on his personal best at the moment. Bad Omen come out in softs this time. See if he can bang a few quicker laps in. GTO Nuke Shot Boys all the way down in 14th. Seems to be struggling for that little bit of pace, but he's 9/10 up on his best lap at the moment, and he's on mediums, so whether he picked up some damage early on, I don't recall seeing any damage though. And last but not least, we have Bendit, who is about to be lapped by Kings there, who is in second, currently 13.5 seconds behind Nick. Nick really backing it off now, 59 deads the last few laps. Just prolonging it while the gap's still not going down. He'll stay out. Because King's doing the same, he has dropped into the 49s as well. And the same with Azam. Luke's on the softs, will be bringing that gap down, but as you can see, them softs nearly half gone already. And the gap not going up as quick as it was between himself 4th and Rosie's in 5th. Randy Moore 1.5 seconds behind Rosie's. Mash dropped nearly 10 seconds after that incident. Everything looking rather spread out at the moment. This is about the closest gap on track, and I think these guys will be in soon. I will just leave you here for a few seconds. Upay now with the fastest lap, the 157.2 there. As we do see these guys go into the pits at last. Obviously sticking to a very strict strategy here. Dragging it out that long, or was he just copying the guy in front? Copy them and take away their advantage. It's just put Mash back up to 4th. And Upay now in 8th. It will be interesting to see where Upay comes out in relation to these guys, because he has been on it. As he comes down the pit straight now. And it brings him up to 6. But only quarter of a tank of fuel and half a set of softs left. He will be in fairly early, and we do know that Randy Moore at least has got onto the softs. 2 seconds in front of Splurge at the moment, who's down to 9th. But Splurge is on the mediums and half a tank of fuel, which I think will work out about the same as what Randy is doing. So they've got nearly 45 minutes on their first set of tyres, so perhaps one more stop, half hour on softs. And then another 45 on mediums maybe. Or will they go 2 stop softs now? Rosie's has put more fuel in because he is further down the order, so I'm going to guess Rosie's has gone onto the mediums also. He has, and gone with the full tank. As we can see, Silent Wolf having a big moment there on exit of the hairpin. I don't really see much of the hairpin while I've been streaming around here. I'll have to keep an eye on that, because I do like that corner when you get a couple of cars going there together, because someone always tries to get the tighter line and the better exit, and it's so hard to get the exit when you take that tighter line. Always causes a wiggle. Oh, so we have Bandit does have hardware issues as well. Am I dissing you, Mr. T? Well, I'm not really. I'm just pointing out facts, aren't I? That you like tyres for breakfast, dinner and lunch. And I'm saving most of my dissing for round 2, so when Suzuka is on track. We'll also have Mr. T on track too, so plenty to talk about there. Pastina up to 12th now, after this round of stops. On the mediums, still doing 59s. Nice and consistent. I think we will see him come through the order as the stops start to sort the order out. Badham in 13th. 58.6 lap 19. So he's finding that little bit of extra pace on the softs. GTO for the Nuke Shop boys down in 14th. Suzuka hoping that gap doesn't grow too much between himself and 13th, so he's got a bit of battling to do. And then Bendit, as we've just heard, has got server issues and hardware issues. Hopefully they won't have to retire the car and the car can keep going. Because again, I'm sure these guys have put a little bit of practice in, so, and we appreciate them being here. With the pit stops coming in, this has put Lucas in front, but he is flashing on fuel and tyres looking pretty gone, so he will be in at the end of this lap as we'll watch him through the snake. Great bit of track when you're in the zone. When you're not, it's horrible. This corner here through the Dunlop, it's an odd corner because it's just getting on the power at just the right time, so you can kind of use that slip road that he just went past to get the best exit. And we are going to stay with him at the hairpin, because worn tyres and hairpins are always a good combination. In the background there we can see Nick already closing that gap down We'll have a quick look at Nick in a minute. Nicely done around the hairpin there, nice and smooth. Then we'll have a look at Nick. Even better as we see that gap coming down. Straight back in the 57s for Nick on the mediums. Yes, his pace has certainly been explosive today. Let's start with the egg puns again, shall we, folks? And King's 9.5 seconds still behind. He's gone into the softs this time, so can he make any inroads into Nick? So he has got nearly 3/4 of a tank of fuel as well, so he's not running these softs for a while. Or will it just save him a little bit of time fueling on the next stop? Lucas in as predicted. I think this will see him drop back to... It's going to be about 6, I think. We have ours on the back of Mash now. This battle we've already seen once or twice today as Mash goes in. Them tyres absolutely non-existent on the right front, look. And the fuel. 0% fuel and 0 tyres. Obviously thinking of the being ecologically friendly and extracting everything he can from what he has. Have a look at a pit stop, shall we? Why not? Oh, we do seem to have battles on track though, so let's not. It should be somewhere around here where we've got Randy Moore, Yupe and Lucas. I think all of these guys on softs, but Yupe looking like he's going to have to come in a couple of laps. But he is right on top of Lucas at the minute. Well, that's come out on the mediums this time, so he's going for a longer stint. Randy Moore looking like he really wants to make a move on Yupe as quick as possible, make the most out of these softs. And Yupe would have dropped off a little bit by now with that wear. Let's jump on board the Jag. As he goes to the tight line, can he get it power on? Yes, he can. But Yupe gets the power on a little bit more effectively. And the AMG always good on corner exit. That low down torque of the AMG. Like it's never quite revving, but it is. This is give Randy the inside line through Spoon. Can he keep it tight and get a good exit? We can only see headrest, so it's hard to tell. Yes, Yupe is behind him. Randy using them sticky tyres to the best of his abilities there and getting the move done. Now what can he do about Lucas? Lucas being on the mediums, Randy should be faster. Look at that for a view, I like that, and it's not a view I'd ever use. Bumper view in a stream, but it works really well when you got someone front and behind. That's like split screen. Is he going for the move here, Randy? Can he get it done into first curve? Oh, I wish he didn't have all that info at the minute. He's taking a tight line. Getting on the power. It's going to... What a battle here for 4th place. And Randy finally cutting Lucas off there, shutting the door. Good job there by Randy Moore. Putting him up to 4th, 12 seconds behind Arzum now. Arzum being on the mediums. Can Randy make any inroads into that gap? But he's going to have to probably stop one more time. Oh, Randy at the moment! Fortunately, Lucas manages to drive past him. Must have ghosted just at the right time. Randy trying to stay out the way on the inside line. Oh, but back down to 8th. All that work he's just done, all undone again. That's Suzuka, folks. That's Suzuka. Rosie's now on the mediums and have seen that gap come down and seen that name drop towards him. And that won't have done Randy's tyres any good at all. And then we've got Splurge having a look at Creasy. Greasy been pretty difficult to pass on them softs in the Beetle. They must be pretty worn now. Oh, they're more than worn. Yes, it does seem to be darkening in areas of the track. There is still a potential for rain here. We are only halfway through this race. Not even that yet. Randy getting past Creasy as well. Randy not hanging about, trying to get back up to pace. But the damage has been done. It's 2 instants already as we see Creasy go in. He had no choice there. So that's Yupe in as well. He's put Silent Wolf up to 9th. But he's fuel flashing, so he'll be in at the end of next lap. Oh, Mash is off again. Yes, it's all falling apart for Mash. It's 2 incidents in a few laps. I'm sure he's shouting at himself right now. He was doing so well up to 4th at one point. And I'm sure with the stops he was even higher up than that, wasn't he? And he had fastest lap at one point as well. But now LTM Kings with fastest lap with a 1:57 dead. I'm sure we'll see quicker laps towards the end, when they do start to push it on the softs. Randy Moore now past Splurge again now as well. Splurge struggling for grip on them mediums, it seems. A little bit loose through Spoon. And Randy Moore, that gap coming down between himself and Lucas. It was. Lucas on the mediums. Randy is good on tyres, so hopefully he will be able to prolong the life of them softs as much as possible. Again, Randy being one of the aliens out here. Quickest lap on lap 24, the 1:57.3, which is right up there with these guys. Lucas not looking as comfortable on the mediums. I'm not surprised he did run the softs at the beginning. I think he's just using these to get a little bit of distance and then drop back onto the softs. Grissom on his own in 3rd now, 15 seconds behind, 17 seconds in front. But he'll be happy with that at the moment, and say we still have a very, very long time to go in this race. King's bringing that gap down to Nick, but he is on the softs over Nick's mediums, but them softs last him well in King's car. I don't think he's over pushing and running the 57s rather than the 56s he is capable of on them tyres. But slowly bringing the gap down to Nick. Nick not pushing this time, it seems, but tyre wear very similar to King's softs. Well, actually, it's worse. So this is very interesting. Obviously, Nick had put more fuel in. That extra load will create more tyre wear, as you would expect. More weight, more wear. It's hardly rocket science, but yes, it's supposed to explain these things. Oh, Nick got a pen. Yeah, Pedro is doing great, mate. That's King's in 2nd place. They say his tyre wear is absolutely... He's one of these tyre whispering racers. that somehow managed to make softs last like that. I mean, that's 6 laps in. So we could easily get like 18 laps out of a set of softs. And bringing that gap down to Nick still. As quick this stint as he was last stint. We'll see 1.1 seconds down on his quickest lap, which was a whole series of 57, so we can expect a mid 58 here. Oh, 59. Kings will be loving this, seeing this gap come down like this. 57.7 from Kings there. And he's pulling away from Azam in third as well. That's nearly 19 seconds now. It was 19 seconds when I initially looked. It's just come back down a bit as Azam gets a good exit with the Casio triangle. And onto the start finish to 58.8. That time round from Rizm. Lucas managed to put a bit of time in between himself and Randy Moore. That gap back up to 9.5 seconds now. Randy Moore with a 2:01 last time round, so another bit of a moment there somewhere. Rose in 6, nearly 7 seconds behind Randy. But he has got mashed potato right on the back of him and Splurge. Upe nearly 13 seconds back up this battle. But we will see Splurge in at the end of this lap looking at his fuel. Will put him back to Pestina in 10th at the moment. Do like the sound of that straight 6 in the Z4. Kind of always sounds like it's in a tunnel. Creasy banging out some good times now, and he's taking big chunks of time out of Pastina in front of him. And his tyres and fuel looking good for a good while yet. So I think we will see something between the Beetle and the BM. GT up to 12th now. But then medium is starting to look tired, and Silent Wolf we know has recently pitted. So Wolfie will be looking to make a move as quick as possible. And gets it done. As we go through Degner and up to the hairpin. Not so many incidents at Degner either, and that can be another corner that can catch you out on exit. Just run a little bit wide and onto the grass, and then there's that little bit of the bridge that sticks out as well. That can be a full damage area. But everyone's seeming to avoid that so far. Touch wood. Hopefully don't curse anybody. Bad Omen in 14th. Nearly 2 minutes behind the leaders now. And he has nearly 50 seconds for himself. And Bendit is having more problems now. He's trying to stay out of everybody's way. There's Rosie's and Mash. Pass him again. Gaps between 1 and 2 down to 3.5 seconds now. King's really pushing on. And Nick not being as consistent as the Nick we know. Perhaps it is the pressure of that mistake on watching the gap come down. Does he know King's is on softs? Does he know King's tyre wears better than his? Has he got somebody feeding back this information? I don't know. I would have thought so. Because they are a very professionally run unit. Well, that gap down to under 3 seconds for the first time now. Pedro having a great drive there. And he will be actually visibly able to see the gap shrinking now. He's nearly 20 seconds behind them now, just over. But again, this is after an hour's racing, 20 seconds behind the leader. After an incident, that is not bad. With still another 3 hours to go, pretty much anything can happen. I don't know, Mr. T is doing his rain dance. Thanks for the info, Mr. T, about the Z4. Does still sound like it's in a tunnel though. But yes, apparently it is a V8 in the GT3 car, not a straight 6. Road car was still a straight 6. Just sounds very different to some of the other V8s, but there again, thinking about it, it does sound quite a lot like the M6. But a little bit throatier, I would say. Right, let's have another little scroll through, see if we've got any action anywhere. Randy Moore now nearly 9 seconds behind Lucas. Guy's nearly 17 seconds in front. And Rosie's 8.5 seconds behind Randy. So Randy got a bit of air at the moment. And the same Rosie's got 2.6 seconds between himself and Mash. Mash starting to come back through the order. But them softs starting to look worn again already. Yuppie is making up some ground now. He's up to 8th and he's not long stopped, but he has gone on softs again and just picked himself up a half-second penalty for the pleasure. That first lap really costing Yuppie, because I mean, look at his lap times: 57.9, 57.5, getting the odd 59 in there and 58, but pretty damn quick across the board. Almost a minute behind the leaders, and probably 30-40 seconds of that was done in the first lap. Chris has made his way past Pastina. We watched the Z4 lag around the track a little bit, just to hear that V8 again. And then Silent Wolf. 6 seconds over Splurge now, but the gap seems to be coming down between himself and Splurge. Only 5.5 seconds in front of GTO for the Nuke Shot boys, and they have just pitted, so we should see a little battle here very shortly. And what tyres is Bad Omen on? He's on softs, and they are fairly new. Again, a little bit of lag, but something they don't seem to be able to get rid of in GT7 so far. They improve it, then it comes back. And Bendit is in the pits. I'm not sure if he's just parked it, trying to sort hardware issues out possibly. Meanwhile, 1.5 seconds now, the gap between 1 and 2. King's really taking big chunks out of Nick's lead. He has dropped into the 58s himself now. And them softs starting to wear quicker. They have dropped slightly below Nick's tyres, but only barely. But still, I would rather be on the softs at this point. Maybe not in a couple of laps' time. But who'd have expected this? The gap that Nick had. What a fabulous drive from Pedro in the AMG. And he will be handing it over to Welshie in the second stint. Will Kings for the Aston Muff boys. We know Welshie keeps it together, will have great pace as well. Nick's starting to feel the pressure and starting to push on by the look of it. He wants someone to explain to him how that gap's come down so quickly. Maybe it's some of the lags scrambled, he's thinking a bit. Oh, sorry to hear that, Raptor Race Engineering. And thank you, Luke Shuck Media, presumably Suzuka, for more information about the Z4. Apparently it's the same engine used in the M3 GT2. There we go, factoid. As we see it there in the background. Gap stabilising at just over a second at the moment, but Nick's still in the 59s. What about Kings? He was in the 59.1 as well, almost matching lap times there. Only a tenth between them. I'm wondering if conditions are getting a little slippery. Still no signs of rain though. It's looking gloomy, but no rain as of yet. Mr. T will be dancing like mad and have his bells and everything out. But we can see blue sky. Perhaps we will get rain, but perhaps it'll be in stint too. Quickly puts rain dancing equipment away. And let's have a look at the gap between Mr. T's teammate and the leader. Is 1 minute and 2 seconds at the moment. And Mash really bringing that gap down. Where's Randy Morgan? Back to 9th. Has he stopped? Yes, he has. PC for fresh softs. Putting 1.5 seconds behind Creasy. I don't think that'll be that way round for very long. But then we have quite a big gap to Yuppie, who will be stopping soon. Oh, and Mash, look at that fuel and tyres. Meanwhile, Roses has got 2 seconds in front of Mash, and this is going to suit him down to the ground with Mash pitting early. Gives him a bit of breathing room. And with 20 seconds between himself and Lucas. And Lucas on the mediums this time. Looking good actually, he's settled into them now. Low 59s all the way. Let's quickly check the gap between 1 and 2. He's down to 7/10 of a second, folks. We truly have a battle for the lead. 1 hour and 13 minutes into this race. We'll jump on board with Pedro. Watch him whisper into them tyres. As you can see, hardly any tyre screech at all. That's perfect tyre management there a little bit. Just so gently on and off the throttle there. Half a second now between these two. But they will both be trying to draw these tyres out, I think, for another couple of laps. And then duck in and go for a set of mediums till the end, fuel up. Oh, a little bit of a twitch there from Nick. Oh, that'll be my explanation for their strategy. Get outside the cars quickly just in case we do get a move. It won't be into 130R. These guys far too professional for that. Because that is almost a suicidal move for somebody. Through the Casio triangle. And through last curve onto the start finish. The gap got up to half a second nearly. Good exit there from Nick. Now with the draft, that should come tumbling back down. Let's have a quick look at Nick's tyres as well. They are looking better now than King's. And soft's starting to wear a little quicker than the mediums. Yes, it is the Sota boys in third. Ours are now 22 seconds back. Obviously without that instant would be higher, but we will keep our eyes on this gap out the front. Because there isn't a gap. And we have Kings looking to make a move on the inside of Nick. There is contact. In the hairpin. Well, we said the inside line is a little trickier exit. But with the softs he seems to get it down, but he is flashing on fuel now, so will he come in at this lap or the next lap? We do have Creasy in P8. As Kings does let Nick back pass for the contact. That's a good way to do it, actually. Didn't cost him much time after the instant as they both got going and then let him through. And he was going into the pits anyway. He didn't risk that one extra lap. But I think this will hand the lead to Kings, because depending what tyres he comes out on, he probably will go with the softs again, because he managed to get them softs to go for a very long way. No, mediums, I think, till the end. Sorry, I retract everything. But yeah, somebody has pointed out in chat that this does look a bit like the Vodafone livery. It does remind me of the McLaren Vodafone F1 livery. They're saying the Bathurst livery. I can't say I've seen that, but very nice either way. I do like the black shadowing on the red. Very classily done. Good work there from the Aston Muff boys. Brings us about in third, only 18 seconds behind ours. I'm in second now, 20 seconds behind Nick. So while they've been battling, he has made a couple of seconds back into the lead pair. Nick will be pushing like hell, or will he just be trying to get these tyres to go longer so he can just do a stint on softs at the end? What did Kings come out of the pits on? He has gone onto the mediums with a full tank. So Pedro not planning on stopping again. We do have Upe in the pits. Oh, and that was GTO off. As you see, Nick goes round another lap, pretty sure he will. GTO dropped to the back of the cars on track. Bendit got into the pits with the issues suffered. GTO now 22 seconds behind Bad Omen. Not a good day for the Nuke Shop boys. Let's see what Suzuka can do in his 2 hours. Will he have any better luck than GTO? Bad Omen Bad Omen just got a bit of commentator's curse there in 13th. As first corner claims another victim. Bad Omen has been a victim of it at least twice now. And give Pastina a little bit more breathing room in 12th. Just dropped down the order since the first part of the first round of stops. So he was right up there at the beginning. Greasy and Splurge. Splurge seems to be struggling for mid-corner speed there. As Creasy was pushing him round on the mediums and Creasy on the softs. See Silent Wolf in the foreground there. These guys only a few seconds from a three-way battle. And there we just saw Nick in the background as well as Silent Wolf jumps in the pits to make sure that we don't get that three-way battle. And these guys 10 seconds behind Upe. He's on fresh softs now, 8.3 seconds behind Mash. Mash also on fairly fresh softs, which has put Randy Moore back up to 6. By the Roses still not stopped from his stint on mediums. It's a nice long stint this is. Time's dropped up, but I think he's going to try and go long enough so that he can just go for a set of softs till the end, which will last just over half an hour. So I'm thinking another lap, maybe 2. As we see, I think it was Bad Omen coming out the pits in front. King's currently 37 seconds behind Nick, so this will be interesting. What's Nick's pace like at the front with the worn tyres he's doing? This will be his last lap. Will be really interesting to see what tyres he comes out on. He's still 20 seconds in front and he's wide there at 130R. Oof. Well, keeps it together and makes his way into the pits. Are we going to stay here or should we jump to Kings? We'll jump to Kings and see where we come out in comparison. As he's just coming down the back stretch, making his way towards 130R. Casio triangle into last curve. And how close is Nicky? He's fueling. But Kings is going to come through. And Nick leaves the pits on mediums. He's got full fuel, whereas Kings has only got just over 3/4 of a tank left now. So is Nick just gearing himself up for a highly aggressive run here? Use all the fuel, use all the tyres? I think that is going to be the case. So we do accept speed. Nick, the sunshine is out now as well, so the track should be extra sticky. So will we get back into the 37s? Randy Moore up till 4th now as Lucas and Rosie's pit. Well, Randy Moore will have to stop again, so he's going to have to work hard to get a nice big gap behind him, because it will be a shorter stop, but it's going to be a hell of a lot longer than 11 seconds. So currently we have Azam in first. In front of Silent Wolf there, who's just been lapped. You can see the pace of that DBR down the straight. Coming down between first and second. And Azam will have to pit in the next lap or two. The tyres looking pretty worn. I've probably got enough fuel for well, 2 laps. Another second out of that gap. 2.7 between King and Nick. There will be no tyre saving this time, or fuel saving from Nick. It will be go, go, go. Nobody having a tyre advantage as far as compound goes, but just tyre life. Whereas Nick should be better, but he does seem to be slightly harder on his tyres. But another couple of tenths out of that lead. Is there any other action on track at the moment? There does seem to be, but I don't think it is. I think that's just Azam and Silent Wolf. Silent Wolf just hanging in with our leader there. So we're going to go and help him progress slightly as he has a big moment there through 130 yard and on. Oh, Silent Wolf there. Just slightly dirty tyres into Casio triangle and another little twitch on. That gap come down another second between Azam and Kings. And Azam staying out for another lap. He will be going on to softs, I think, with half an hour left to run-ish. Gap under 15 seconds now. And Nick took another 10th out of Kings. And a 57.8 last time round for Nick. And Kings at 58.3. That's half a second. If you can do that each lap, he'll be on top of him in about 3.5, 4 laps. Once you get under a second, obviously it comes down a little bit quicker with the help of slipstream. Everything else looking pretty spread out, but this is where you want the battle right at the front of the field. Running so close to the edge through Spoon there, both of these guys. Just a couple of extra millimetres and your car will be rotating. Well, we do seem to have had a couple of the other groupings up on track now. We will check that out. I think one of them is still Arzum, who stayed out for another lap. The wall flashing, that's going to be so close on fuel, he might have to short shift this lap. Still dragging Silent Wolf around with him, and tyres, look at them rears. This is a risky lap here from the Sota boys. If he has got a team race director in his ear, I'll be screaming him at him at the end of this lap, because that's a big risk. Fuel flashing, tyres absolutely gone, front right, left rear. That's just got rotation written all over it to me. Still keeping it together, but that left rear is starting to look really iffy. If nothing else, it'll be starting to cost him time. As you can see, Silent Wolf having no problem staying with Arzum, who is currently in the lead of 13.2 seconds, so when he stops, he's going to be a good 20 seconds behind the leaders. Let's just check between 1 and 2, and it is half a second. Thank you for pointing that out, Ardent Blue. Did Kings have a bit of a moment there? Because that's over 2 seconds that gap has dropped by this lap. I can't see Nick have been 2 seconds faster. We've done a 58 dead last lap. Kings have 7 tenths. Where's the other second and a half gone? Yes, indeed, SRT 302, great battle for the lead. And meanwhile, Arzum is in for the Sota boys from the lead. He should come back out comfortably in third. Excellent drive so far from Nick and Kings at the front. Kings really pushing it through the snake. Nick having to be that little bit more gentle with the GTR, as it is a slightly twitchier car than the AMG. And the AMG with that low down grunt. Pedro doing a fantastic job. Opened the gap up to back over a second. I've just got Nick out of the slipstream again. Not sure if Nick is struggling with that dirty air. Being thrown back by the AMG. But down the straights we should see the GTR capitalise on its full grunt. It is a quick car. I'm not sure if they've nerfed it lately in any of the updates, but it's normally a quick car, so we should see a bit of ground made here by Nick. Now he's back in the draft as well. Give me around half a second possibly when we get to 130. Oh no, AMG getting a good exit. And a little switch there through 130R. And absolutely no inroads made by Nick. Gap still leaning 9 tenths. And back up to over a second. King's doing a fantastic job. So a quick flick behind, we'll come straight back to this, but we just want to see where Arzum has come out in relation to Randy Moore and the likes of. Randy Moore in a bit of clear air, but he's still only got 12.5 seconds behind to Lucas, who won't have to stop again. Mash will, and so will Yuppie. I would say the battle would be between Roses and Randy Moore for 6th as it stands, so we'll keep an eye on that. But anyway, back to the lead. Now Nick may have had it fairly quiet for his first set of tyres, taking the lead and opening the gap up, but since then Pedro, aka Kings, has just made inroads into Nick. I got in front at the pits with the earliest stop doing the undercut, and I'm making Nick do all the work behind him. That gap down to 4/10 now. Nick putting the pressure on. Let's jump on board with the GTR, shall we? Hopefully not commentators curse Nick, as he's getting it all squirrely on the power there, but keeping it literally perfectly straight. That GTR as we lift through 130R, will the... Oh! God, I hate coming back onto the track there. Well, that dirty air costing Nick the grip through 130R and having to run wide. But unfortunately, you don't get a penalty for that. You can see how much that GTR is moving under acceleration. Thank you very much for the info, Arden. I hadn't looked at that actually when I look back, but Arzum is on soft, so only 20 seconds behind these boys. He was 22 plus before the pit stops, so he has made some inroads in already. And as these guys battle, it could slow them down even more if they do get into a battle, or if they're sensible and don't, and just pull away from the following group. We'll come out of these reviews. We'll have a check behind at Arzum, see what lap time that he's doing. If he's going to drop into the 57s, oh, very aggressive from Nick there. Trying every trick in the book. See what he can extract from these tyres and that engine and the fuel. We can just hear them little bits of lag through the corner. That gap down to 18 seconds. Arzum doing a great job here. 57.3 last time round. Absolutely blinder of a recovery drive from the Sota boys. The instant they suffered at the beginning of the race, from what we can gather, was self-inflicted. We haven't heard anything different, and he's on purple sectors at the moment. Could we see our first 56 of the day during the race, obviously, because we had 55s in quali, but since then the guys that have are mostly stuck to medium tyres. And a 56.8. Arzum does get the fastest lap, and that gap down to 17.9 seconds now. Meanwhile, Nick's 7/10 behind Kings. Possibly, I think it could be a master plan, or it could be a, Jesus, this guy's fast, I've got to keep him behind me some way. I think it's just a case of get your fat ass out and stop him passing. I mean, let's check these guys' tyres. Nick's tyres should be considerably better because they are 2 or 3 laps newer. And they are fractionally better, but not 2 or 3 laps worth of tyre wear better, I wouldn't say. So he is pushing hard, and we could hear him pushing hard on them corner exits. We'll see Randy Moore in the pits. we'll have a quick check back at that, see where he comes out in a minute, but we'll stay with these leaders while they're battling like this. That dirty end is seeming to cause massive problems for the GTR. Far enough back, doesn't get sucked in with the dirty air this time. Oh, he does a little bit. And I hate it when they cut across the grass like that, it terrifies me. Quick look, Randy Moore did come out in front of Roses by 4.5 seconds, and he is on the softs. This would not be what Bite the Roses would want for the Asylum guys. It's going to give Mr. T a little bit more work to do in the next stint. Currently 7th with 16 seconds, nearly 17 seconds between themselves and Mash, who has gone onto the mediums for the final stint. Pastino, I was just about to say, was making his way through the order, but he is going to have to stop again soon. Tyres looking pretty gone, and with 20 minutes still to go, that fuel never going to last. Which would move MFT Silent Wolf up to 9th. Creasy only 5.7 seconds behind him. Splurge all the way back in 12th now. Nearly 15 seconds behind Creasy. Splurge won't be too pleased with that. I couldn't imagine. Bad Omen in 13th. GTO 14th. For the Nuke Shot boys are nearly wide through first corner again, but just keeping it within the grey stuff. And then in the pits for technical work, Bend It. And the Raptor Racing boys. The gap at the front, 4 tenths now. Nick closing right up on the braking through the Casio triangle, which actually really cost him on the exit of last curve. Final curve, isn't it? Sorry. No, it is last curve. Keep doubting myself and then putting myself wrong. That really costing Nick there, 1.6 seconds the gap now. Meanwhile, Arzen brought that gap down to 13.5 seconds, 15 seconds to the lead. It's took 5 seconds out of these guys since the pit stop. The 156.3 last time round. The Sota boys on it. Hopefully there will be no issues at changeover this time, because last race I think it really cost the Sota boys with an early exit from the pits. That Porsche absolutely killing it round here at the minute. That gap down now to 12.7 seconds between himself and Nick. Nick brought that gap back down to around a second. But certainly can't manage the lap time as he was doing in the first stint, Nick. Only the once got in the 57s. But that gap coming down between 1 and 2. Oh, we see Creasy getting it all a little bit sideways through Spoon. U-bait in the pits for the final time. Out 5 there from Nick. Pretty consistent, but not the laps we've seen from him earlier on in the race. This battle still raging, and Arzum has got the gap down to under 10 seconds between 1 and 2 now. And with the laps ticking down, this is looking great for the Sota boys. Nick closing it down here through the Casio triangle again. Try not to make a mess of it this time. Still loses time there to King. Fourth, nearly 46 seconds behind the leaders. Well, 56 from the actual lead, but 46 behind third. With Randy Moore another 11 seconds back, but that gap coming down as Randy drops into the low 57s and trying not to spin again. Rosie's dropping back. And then tyre starts to look a little bit worn as he goes a little bit wide through 130R. A little bit of twitch on re-entry to the track. But he has got nearly 20 seconds between himself and Mashed Potato there. Well, he's got Yuppie all over the back of him. Yuppie, who has not long stopped and will be on the softs. And getting caught in that dirty air through 130R. And every time my heart stops there, a little bit of contact there, nothing to worry about. Yuppie get a good drive down here and into first corner. Mashed Potato showing him the outside line. Can he cut back? Yes, the old switcheroo, a little bit of contact there, but Mash keeps it nice and tight and Yuppie gets the move done. Mash trying to get on the power early and does get a little bit loose on exit. Really not wanting to give up that spot, but I don't think there's much he'll be able to do on his mediums. With Yuppie on the fresh softs. Good recovery drive from Yuppie. Quickly jump back to the front. Oh, what timing! As Nick gets the move done in Degma. As Nick thought it's time to pull the pin, is King struggling for grip on the tyres. They've seen the gap coming down between them. It's 5.5 seconds between second and third now. Arzum doing absolutely stunning job on the softs. 57, 57, 57 every lap, taking a second out of the leaders. At least. I think that's one of the reasons Nick has pulled the pin and gone. Watching that gap come down behind him. As he instantly stretches the lead to nearly a second. Has no problem through 130 without the dirty air. Not abusing the limits there, Arden. Absolutely perfect for the front two. That gap's still coming down. 4.6 seconds now. Arzum is going to be right on these guys for the handover. Stint 2 should have a three-way battle at the front almost instantly. King's tyre is actually looking not much worse than Nick's. I'd say the right front is about the same, identical. A little bit more even on the AMG. Kings does seem to be the tyre whisperer. Well, I think Nick is now pushing. With 5 laps to go. How close he is running to the edge of the track there every time. There we could see Arsene in the background. He is right with Kings now. Kings struggling. 2 minutes 9 seconds last time round. That's 3 seconds slower than Arsene. And Nick now 4.6 seconds in front. He's just pulling away from Kings. Kings must have had a little bit of a moment as well. He must have. I think on the last 2 laps he's just struggling for grip. Now you wouldn't think he'd go for a move here, but he is very close. He's having a look. He's side by side. He's thinking about it, and he does go through. Does he keep it on track? Yes, he does. As I flick the wrong way. Stupid pony. That's Arsene and the Soda Boys up to second, chasing Nick down, who's got 5.4 seconds in front. 158.8 last time round for Nick. But how worn are them softs on Arsene's now? They're looking pretty worn. I think this means Kings will be able to hang with him. There's quite a gap between themselves and Lucas in 4th. And Randy bringing that gap down pretty quick, down to 5.4 seconds. Yes, couldn't agree, Arden. Couldn't agree more, mate. It's been absolutely fantastic at the front. And with a lot of accidents earlier on has made it different front runners as well. It's been interesting, to say the least. White the Roses in 6th for the race of Silent Boys. He's got 13 seconds between himself and Yuppie. Yuppie will be closing that gap. Because he is in the 57s, 57.7, 57.8 last 2 laps. So that gap will be well into single figures by the end of this stint. Creasy in 8th. With Pastina only a couple of seconds behind him. And the gap coming down. So we have Creasy on the mediums, Pastina on the softs. And 35 laps left, them softs should last. And Mash only 3 seconds further back at this battle as well, so we could have something going on here towards the end, because Mash is on a fresh set of softs. So we will be hoping to make up a couple of places before the death. Splurge back in 11th. Qualified 4th, I believe, but a few inconsistencies during the race. That has led to a massive amount of lost time. Silent Wolf only 2.8 seconds behind. And Bad Omen a further 46 seconds back. And GTO for the Nuke Shot Boys. Last of the runners at the moment. 18 seconds further back of Bad Omen. Arsene bringing that gap down to Nick, down to 4.7 seconds now. Oh, we see Kings off in the background. He's still got 50 odd seconds between himself and Lucas, so it won't be a problem there, but that's lost him a lot of time to the leaders. We'll keep our eye on that gap between 3rd and 4th to see how much Lucas is going to make. The gap down between 4th and 5th now down to 3.6 seconds between Randy Moore and Lucas. And the gap between Roses and Upay not coming down like I expect. I don't think Upay had a good lap that time round. 2:02, no. Big moment from Upay. Time now gone out of them softs for Arzum. I think the gap will only grow between himself and Nick now, but Nick's tyres not looking too healthy either, but with only a couple of laps to go, it should see him to the handover in first place. That incident cost Kings over 10 seconds, I would say. The 2:08 last time round. 2:03 on lap 56 as well. That's when we've really seen Arzum close that gap. Lost a good 10 seconds between himself and Lucas. Randy Moore only 2.6 seconds behind Lucas now. Oh, Lucas is off. This should see Randy Moore through comfortably. Smoking his tyres as he gets away there, Lucas. Not sure why Randy's wiggling there. Perhaps he had a bit of dirt on his tyres himself. He didn't come through as quick as I expected, to be honest, so yeah, I think he may have had a little bit of a moment himself, Randy. Wonder if that's what put Lucas off, looking in the mirror. As we go through a Degna and up to the hairpin for these guys. Yes, Arden, we have had a few instances in the last couple of laps. Everyone pushing, everyone exhausting their tyres. There we go, there's another egg comment. But Arzum still bringing that gap down. The worn soft seems to be better than the worn mediums. But how worn are Arzum's tyres? Let's have a look, shall we? Oh my word. And these guys have got one more lap to do after this, I believe. So Arzum is going to be struggling for fuel as well. He will be short shifting now. A slow change down there. Not massively short shifting yet. But the gap's still growing. It's up to 12.5 seconds behind him, but he's still got nearly 48 seconds between himself and Randy Moore for Kings. But here's fuel flashing also. These guys are going to be struggling on the final lap there. That looks like Creasy having a little bit of a battle there with Pastina. Pastina has gone past and now got 1.2 seconds in the lead of Creasy. And match clear of these guys up to 8th. Upay got that gap down to single figures as predicted. In the 158s the last couple of laps, whereas Roses in the 20s. Oh, the 2 minute mark. As we see, he's took 20 odd seconds out of Lucas with that incident. Who has managed to regroup and start chasing Randy down. Right, let's have a look at Arzum as these guys cross the line for the last time. He has absolutely zero right hand front tyre and zero left hand rear. Now starting to open that gap up. I mean, Nick's tyre's not looking great, but he doesn't have to save any fuel. He'll have enough for the lap. As he goes past GTO and through the hairpin for the last time. And through 200R, we haven't mentioned that corner yet, really. Not much of a corner, it's just there, nice, fast. And his last time through Spoon, gap opens up to 5.5 seconds, 5.6 now. As Arzum struggles on them tyres. Going a bit deep in 130R. It's the Casio triangle for the final time. And into the pits of the handover, 5.6 seconds in front of Arzum as it stands. It's going to be like 6 seconds nearly. And we'll wait for these guys to come in and stop. And King's in the pit also. Managed to make a little bit of time back, 10.7 seconds behind Arzum. That's Nick stops, Arzum stops. We'll wait for King's approach. And that's 1, 2, 3. Should be away in lobby 2. Randy Moore coming through 130R for the last time for the GTSV boys. With Lucas closing that gap down to 3.6 seconds behind him. Randy flashing on fuel. And after 2 incidents, a good recovery drive there for 4th place in the handover for Randy. And Lucas, after his little incident, still keeping it in 5th for the Arts. Ready to race, boys. And I think we'll watch P6 in and then switch to lobby 2. So in goes Roses. Only 5.7 seconds between himself and Yuppie at the change. So Yuppie took some massive time out of him for the Speed Hunters. Right then guys, I am going to close this stream and open part 2. I will see you there very shortly.